make sure that I get that and
Isaac Grindo
make sure that everything looks good.
12.
As far as the
Definitely use
goes.
a code. That way you can get those free questions.
Let me get this video ready to go, and we will talk about the big news that has come into light, as some might say.
Jared Goff
during the recent events today. So we will go ahead and play the intro. So
here at the very end of the draft, as we already mentioned. And what I like about taking Dallas Goedert with Loveland is I probably actually start Dallas Goedert at the beginning of the season. And then just have Loveland there for the upside that you get near the end of the season. Mr. C says, oh, so I need a season pass to browse the website. You don't need a season pass to do everything on the website. Like, you can get these mock drafts for free without a season pass. But the season pass unlocks everything on the
like I said, we got some
nothing
good
will be
news
behind
today.
If you have the season
as far as my exposures go. Keenan Allen ends up signing with the Chargers.
Narcos says, how do you feel about basketball?
I
love basketball.
Mason's stream
specifically
in the background.
I
gotta find which tab he's in.
Probably one of my favorite things that has ever happened to fantasy football.
For that.
Sounds aggressive for me to say, but
trying to find the tab that he is.
We're gonna take Miles Sanders here again. I think Miles Sanders.
Okay, close out of that because we were just watching some best ball drafts a little bit ago. So let me find my tab that I did have. Okay, here we go. Too many tabs open. All right, so we got another Flock community contest today. We are going to be doing all three of them tonight on the stream. So, like I said, if you guys are new here, make sure y'all drop a like and a sub. Greatly appreciate the growth recently. Kind of been getting some more views on the live stream, so greatly appreciated. Always appreciate that. So yeah. But yeah, the Keenan Allen news came in today. Signed with the Chargers, 1 year, $8 million-ish. A pretty good contract for Keenan, I'd say. I would be willing to push him up all the way. I'm going to look at the receiver range that I'm going to be pushing him up to. You may agree, you may not agree. But if it's up to me, Quentin Johnston falls. Trey Harris definitely falls. I'd say Quentin Johnston should almost be going where Keenan is going. And Keenan should probably be going right around this Christian Kirk, Luther Burden range. Somewhere in between these guys is where I would put him. Trey Harris probably falls behind Keenan as well. You can make the case for Trey Harris to be a little bit more of an upside swing. But that's where I am personally going to have Keenan Allen. I already have 20%-ish Keenan Allen. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be clicking him a lot more. He's my most owned player in my portfolio. So I don't know if I'm going to be clicking him a ton more, but I do want to make sure that I still continue to have shares if the board is going to allow me to have them, if that makes sense. So I'm not totally ruling him out of my board, so to speak. But I do think where his landing spot ended up being, I think it's huge for Keenan. I think we're looking at a guy who probably sees 100 targets, if not more. I mean, just a year ago, we saw 150 targets in 13 games, 108 catches for 1,243 yards. Do I anticipate that? No. But on the other side of things, they know how to scheme this guy. They know what Keenan Allen is. Really, he's only 1 year removed, and it's not that far off of what he was removed from. So, realistically, the difference is Ladd McConkey is there. I could definitely see 100-plus targets for Keenan. That's well within his range of outcomes in my eyes. So that's where I feel he fits right now and where he should be going in drafts. Kyren Williams is another one today that signed a pretty sizable deal, I would say. 3-year extension, I want to say it was $33 million, $23 million guaranteed. So pretty good extension for Kyren. I really like the extension. That pretty much locks him in as the guy there. I think we should be drafting Kyren ahead of Breece Hall now, and we should probably be pushing him closer to Amarion Hampton. I do think Breece Hall is going to fall a little bit here to the James Cook range. Just simply put, the news is not great. All right, y'all. I'm back. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, that's kind of what I think of the news today. Jefferson off the board. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm taking Gibbs over Saquon over CD. I think Gibbs is my 103 right now, and it makes a lot of sense as to why I've changed my mind a little bit on this. I do think Gibbs and Bijan I want to have pretty close amounts to the same. I have a lot more Gibbs right now because it's easier to get to. I think Gibbs right now, you can make a case, has the best situation and talent, like hand in hand, that go hand in hand of any running back in the NFL. I don't know that there's one that's really close that makes an argument there, because the Lions are one of their projected top 5 offense. They have a good quarterback. We know they have good receivers. We know they have a good line. And we've already heard that Jahmyr Gibbs is taking more carries than David Montgomery in camp. We've already heard that David Montgomery is probably going to get phased out a lot more than we're used to. So I'd say Jahmyr Gibbs is the guy that's kind of on pace here to break out. So that's kind of where I'm at with Jahmyr Gibbs right now. I think he's a really good pick, especially if he does fall to 105, which is where he's kind of currently going. I'm taking him as early as the 103. I will say the bad news that happened today is the Jordan Addison news. 3-game suspension. That's probably the worst case scenario we got with Jordan Addison, unfortunately, which worries me quite a bit about Rashee Rice if they're going to crack down pretty tough on these guys this year. It worries me quite a bit on Rashee Rice, just for the simple fact that we kind of need Rashee Rice to be a receiver one. And if he's missing more than 6 weeks, I don't love that. I'm not really in on Rashee anymore. So I'm kind of curious to see where Ladd McConkey goes. I'm personally probably not too big on Ladd right now. I think he should be a middle of the 3rd round kind of guy. So I'm probably going to be totally out on Ladd. I think if you get a chance to get these 2 guys, Bucky and Jahmyr Gibbs, and pair them up, you do it. Unfortunately, I think the Keenan Allen signing really hurts Ladd. We saw him with 112 targets last season, and you can see it's reflected in this draft as well. I mean, Ladd McConkey would never drop this low previously. If he's on that 2-3 turn and you get Jamar Ladd, that's pretty nice. But I'd take the running backs over him. I'd take Taylor. I'd take Bucky. I'd take Josh Jacobs. Chase Brown is kind of where I'm like drawing the line. I think Chase Brown and Ladd are probably going to be back to back in my rankings. After the whole news has happened, I would like to see how it all pans out. Dude, that's insane. Brock Bowers dropping to pick 26. I almost took him back at the other pick. I mean, getting Brock Bowers there is pretty freaking nice, to say the least. Lamar Jackson goes off the board. We're going to go ahead and take I think we're going to go Trey McBride here. I'm not really a big Reek fan. So we're going to go Trey McBride. And I know it's not common to see nobody go receiver in the first 3 rounds. I don't usually do it either. But I'm not a Tyreek fan, and I'm kind of out on Reek. I have what I want of him, and that's kind of where I'm at. I don't really want any more. If we go to my exposures just real fast here, I'll show you guys kind of real quickly here. I'm at 9. I'm at about average with him. That's about the only thing. That's about where I want to be with him. I don't want to be much ahead of average, to be quite fair. I just am not super intrigued by Tyreek Hill this year. Gibbs Bucky is the ultimate combo. I have it in. Yeah, Gibbs and Bucky is really fun to start. And then getting a Trey McBride pick here as well. You're really solidifying yourself at running back and tight end, I feel like, quite a bit. Now, obviously, your receiver room, you're going to have to play catch up. But if you're prepared to do that, which I honestly think that round 3, round 4 receivers are not much better than round 7 receivers, personally. But I have 2 guys here that could potentially be 25 point per game scores at running back. And then I have one of the differentiators right here in Trey McBride at tight end. So I feel like I have a huge positional advantage here to be able to do that. And then just grab a couple guys here that I like JMO, like Worthy, like Tet, like some of these kinds of guys. Pickens is another one that just went off the board. Worthy if he falls. Yeah, Worthy's a good pick. There's still quite a few good guys on the board here. This guy goes Saquon Chase. I'm never taking Chase Brown ahead of Bucky Irving. It's just not happening. I haven't gotten to that point, and I probably won't get to that point. Hopefully we can land Worthy here is kind of the hope. If not, we're probably going to have to do JMO. Okay, they go Worthy. We're probably going to go Jameson Williams here. We want to buy some of this Lions offense here. Metcalf also TGT merchant, touchdown merchant. They didn't pay him for nothing. I mean, yeah, I could have went DK there. I'm not really super in on DK. I just don't really see the Steelers being all of a sudden this throwing offense. That's just not their identity. Their defense is so good. I don't see that being the case. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think with Rodgers, they are going to throw it a little more, but I think we're going to see what happens here and what's going to happen with that team. Dang, I wanted to get Travis Hunter. That's who I really wanted to get this round was Travis. I think what we're going to see is a more efficient passing attack rather than a more volume level attack from that, because Russell Wilson wasn't very efficient, which led to quite a bit of issues. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and take DK Metcalf. I mean, let's be real. I mean, that's a big fall for DK. I'll take him there. Let's see. There's not a ton of week 5 bye wide receivers out there. Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm not really worried about the bye weeks. As you can clearly see, I have a lot of week 8s already. I'm not really worried about the bye weeks. I just want the points. So yeah. Let's see. Can you move your cam to the queue area so I can see the player list? Yeah, I mean, I think so. Let me see if I can move this. I guess we could just put it right here. Let's see. I don't really want to move. I think we can do this. Just save as a new layout, maybe. Let's go there. There, that can work. Let me see if I can hold on. Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Let's see. There we go. Save as new layout. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now we're good. Now it covers up my queue as well, so that's kind of nice. How many players does it cover up for? I'm just curious at this point. I just want to see how many it covers. Okay, so it covers till Swift. So 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay, that's pretty solid actually. That's a decent amount. Okay, so we see a lot of running backs go off the board. Chuba, Caleb. Ooh, wow. Caleb Johnson goes a little earlier than I expect. Kamara drops. Connor. We see Joe Burrow go to the T. Higgins team. Let's see. We got Rome still sitting on the board. I really like Rome. Addison, I'm done drafting Addison just based on the news. Rome being a faller like this, I'm probably going to take Rome if he falls to us. If not, it's probably going to be a Pearsall or Diggs pick. Or we really could get creative and go Green Bay. That's an option as well. I think we could realistically go the Green Bay double. I kind of like to get, I like to reach on Reed and get Golden on the flip side. I really like to do that because I do think they're going to improve as a passing offense this year. Pearsall's interesting. I do have a little bit of Pearsall. I want to up my bags in the Golden work, so we're going to do that. We're going to take Golden and probably go Reed. I'm hoping that we can get a Reed faller maybe. If we can get Pearsall, I'm okay with that too. I do really like Golden this year. I think there's some very high upside in that offense to be had, and there's a lot of places that he can gain. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. I do think double stacking Green Bay is not a bad plan just because there is no clear-cut guy. And I feel like they both can have spike weeks, especially in these smaller contests. You're wanting to capture upside the best you can, and if one of these guys can go off, it's kind of what you're wanting to capture. You're buying the Green Bay offense being good, which I think they can return to being good. I think Jordan Love was a product of not being healthy last year. Not to say that I think he's bad, but I think Jordan averages a lot better than what he was last year, personally. Pacheco's also a huge candidate, bounce back. He is, but there's a lot of risk with him as well. I feel like personally with Pacheco, they went out and got Elijah Mitchell. They also drafted Brashard Smith. They also brought back Kareem Hunt. Like, realistically, that team is telling you, hey, we don't really have the confidence in this guy that it seems like is warranted. I know there was a couple clips today that I saw of Isaiah Pacheco looking good and looking healthy again, but like, I don't trust necessarily camp news. I don't love it. I still think they really tried to cover their butts, so to speak, with a lot of depth of guys that just could maybe be good, maybe get some work. I think they're going to mix them in. You don't win best ball by being risk averse. Yeah, exactly. You don't win. I mean, I think this is not being risk averse. I think this is buying an offense and believing in an offense to where even two guys can be valuable in this offense, which, honest to God, I really think that Green Bay has a chance to be, a top 5 to 7 offense in the NFL if Jordan Love can play at the level he did a couple years back, especially with the weaponry he has now. This is probably the best room he's had in his career, with Golden being there now. Jaden Reed is another year. Tucker Kraft looked really good. I think this is one of the better years Green Bay can have. Obviously, it's in a very loaded division. I understand that, which means to me that this team is a team that's really going to be drafted lower. Well, not lower, but it's really going to be a team that tries all year. That's the words I'm looking for. So I do think that is definitely something that makes it interesting. Hawkinson sitting out practice, that's not great news. I might go Hawkinson and be done at tight end. I need another running back though, so we might take Warren. Warren's an okay option. Warren goes off the board, never mind. Hawkinson here as a faller is kind of like what I'm thinking, because if I get Hawkinson here, at least we have the week 17 correlation with the Detroit Lions. So I do think that that's a really good correlation. So now this next round, we can really focus on double tapping quarterback here, go Goff, Love, and then we start to fill out this running back room quite a bit. And I don't think this is really a bad team so far. I think Goff is going too low. I think Goff is interesting because obviously they're one of the best offenses in the NFL. No one's going to dispute that with anybody. At least I wouldn't. I'm going to take Goff here just because I think that it's worth making sure that I do get Goff. And then back on the flip side, I'm going to take Jordan Love. I want to make sure I get my guy here because we want to make sure that we're stacking with this format because we really want to hit big when we hit big in week 14 or 15. I mean, we want to make sure that if we're capturing that Lions game in week 17, if it's the stack, we really want the stack of Goff, Gibbs, JMO, and we want it to hit. Same with Love, Golden, and Reed. We really want that to be, we want to have every piece of it if we're going to fulfill it. So if we're going to play it out that way, we need to have it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I think if we're going to play those 2 games out as much as we have already, we need to have the quarterbacks for it. So it only makes sense. I do see we have quite a bit of week 5 and week 8, which I mean, whatever. Like I said, I'm not really super worried about bye weeks until we get towards the depth guys. Once we get to the depth guys, then I can kind of start filling that in. But in smaller contests like this, you don't necessarily have to have the correlated bet, but I do want the correlated bet on this one because I feel like it's a benefit to me to have, especially with the offenses I'm buying and what I'm saying that they're going to be. In order for this team to be winning this contest, I think you need the quarterback. So I don't care about correlation. It's easy for a position player to do well without the quarterback. I just go with whoever I think has the biggest boom week and hope the booms overlap properly. I think it's not a bad, that's basically projection play, which I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, so to speak. But when you have 2 pieces of an offense like I do with Green Bay and Detroit, it kind of sort of makes you want to grab the quarterback because you're really betting on the offense and you're really taking that leap that they are going to boom and they are going to be the guys. So it's kind of tough not to reach for them and get them where you need to just to make sure you secure it. And this realistically means we don't have to go Aaron Rodgers at the end. We can. I'm not convinced that I have to, though. I still feel pretty good about where I'm at as far as this goes. Travis Etienne's still sitting on the board, which is interesting. I know I'm done drafting Travis Etienne. I don't care what value he drops to. I have way too much of him. I don't want any more of this Jacksonville backfield. Reports are coming out that Etienne's kind of the screen running back. Tank Bigsby's the short yardage. Bashal Tutin is the home run hitter, is what they called him. And then they also are mixing in LaQuint Allen, I believe his name is. And I want nothing to do with it. Like right now, taking Brock Purdy here would not be a bad call. I'd be okay with it, but I'm not going to take a third quarterback if I do it. So actually, we're going to do it because here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Jordan Love still. We're still going to play 3 QBs out here. I still think it's not a bad thing, but we're going to have to really make sure that we fill out our receiver room. We're definitely not going any more tight end with the upside we have there already. Running back room is probably going to be only 5 guys, which I'm okay with. I do think going 3 quarterbacks here is fine. It's definitely playing you need to be in the top 1 to make it out of this pod anyways. So I do think it's playing to the contest a little bit more in that regard because we already have 2 running backs that are winning us weeks. We have upside at receiver. I think we have to have 3 quarterbacks in this contest or pretty close to it to become the number 1 team on the pod because you have to be number 1 or you're just not advancing, which is that's the only thing I hate about these flock contests. But it's not like this huge deal. Like we took a projection play with Purdy. We get Jordan Love. We have Jared Goff. Like our quarterback room is set now to where we don't even got to look at it. We're just looking at running back and receivers for the rest of the way. I mean, we don't have to look at Roger. We don't have to look at anybody really for the rest of the way at quarterback. We just need to look at running backs and receivers because we already have our tight end room. We already have our quarterback room. We have 2 anchor running backs here that we really like. We have 4 receivers that I feel like can pop off at any given time. And we're buying in an offense to where Green Bay, we say they're going to be a top 10 offense. And it pans out with Matthew Golden and Jaden Reed being the 2 guys leading the charge for that team. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility at all. DK Metcalf, we know the sky is the limit with this because there's no other receiver on this team that is even viable to talk about. And Jameson Williams, I think Jameson Williams is a lot better than just a gadget guy. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I know he goes in the 4th round, but I honest to God believe Jameson Williams could be just as, if not better, as a receiver than Amon-Ra St. Brown, his counterpart. I feel like Jameson Williams is a lot more talented as a receiver. Do they use him kind of as a gadgety kind of guy? Yeah, he does have some gadgety stuff about him, which makes him even better, in my opinion. I think that's something that's very severely underrated about Jameson Williams is we forget how good he was in Alabama. I mean, he was a very good receiver in Alabama. So it's tough for me to be all the way off of Jameson and like just say he's just this gadget deep threat boom or bust kind of guy, because I don't feel like he is that personally. I think he's definitely moved ahead of the pecking order in over Sam Laporta and Monty. Like, I'm totally out on Monty. I'm totally out on Laporta. Unless Laporta drops at a huge value, I just really haven't been taking Laporta a lot. I'd rather take Jameson, and I'd rather take Jahmyr Gibbs, and I'd rather take Amon-Ra. And that shows in my exposures. Laporta I do have at like 10%, I think now, 9%, something like that. And everybody else is above like 11 on the Lions, and except for him and Monty. Monty, I barely have anything of. So that's where I'm at with that Lions team. I feel like there's just so much untapped potential with that team. Hollywood Brown kind of being a faller here. I'd really like to get Hollywood Brown if I can on this pick. If not, we're probably looking at, I don't really need the Bashal Tutins of the world. Realistically, okay, we got Hollywood Brown. That's good for us. I like Hollywood Brown at this pick. Adds a little bit more to our receiver room. I do think he's a guy who can have some boom weeks for us. Especially early on with no Rashee Rice. I do think there is a chance Hollywood Brown could compete for that one role. He's been a one role before with the Ravens, and we have seen that. Do I think he's going to outproduce Worthy? Probably not, but he could, nonetheless. He could. It's just one of those things that could happen. That's what we're banking on at this point. We're trying to get guys who you can see a ceiling with. And I do think in the first few weeks here, maybe we can, if we say Rashee Rice gets a six week suspension, he gets me through this week 5 bye with everybody else. So that's kind of where we're at with it. I'm not clicking Quentin Johnston. It's just not happening. I haven't been a Quentin Johnston guy the whole year. I will never be a Quentin Johnston guy. So we're going to draft Bashal Tutin with this next pick if he falls to us. I just think it's stupid not to take him here. So we're just going to do it. Give me Bashal Tutin. Give me the upside. That's fine with me. GM, what's good, Hartman? How we doing? Hope all is well with you. Welcome in. Got a little fun 3-3-5-2 going. So got a nice little faller in Hawkinson. Push the Green Bay stack up a little bit. Fine by me. Just trying to play this game we call best ball. Hope all is well with you, Hartman. You doing any contests tonight? Or are you just kind of in the streets lurking for the evening? I'm kind of bored because I've already maxed the Husky 2 again. So anytime the flock contests drop, I kind of have to get in it. So, but yeah, I had to. So the thought process behind this, right, was like only the top entry gets through on these flock contests. So I feel like the 3 quarterback thing, getting Purdy out of value here, was something I couldn't pass. And then I just took Love because I had the Green Bay double and I wanted the Green Bay double, and I have Goff, Gibbs, and JMO. So like I wanted to correlate it up that way. And it feels like it's good for this contest because we already have the 2 elite tight ends and 1 that fell. So I feel like there was quite a bit of fallers in this that allowed me to be able to do what I did here. And now we're just going to go for home run swings at running back and pray that we maybe hit on 1 or 2 and see what happens. Let's see. I need to do my Huskies still. Did a few today. Yeah. I wish I wouldn't have rushed it because I did them all in like the first day of the contest, I think. Yeah, maybe the first day of the contest. So I wish I wouldn't have rushed him because, well, I guess I'm kind of glad I did because a lot of them have Keenan Allen at like pick 190, 200, some of them even last round Keenan, and we're never going to see that again. So Keenan Allen's my most drafted player in my portfolio. So I might be done drafting Keenan Allen for the time being, unfortunately. So my king, Keenan Allen, is probably done being clicked for the time being. Unless he's still going like super cheap, which I mean, I honestly think he should be going higher than this already. So I might get stuck clicking him some more. I think he should be going in like where Quentin, like this 140 ADP, like up here with Hollywood Brown. I think that's where he should be going. Maybe I'm a little bit overzealous about it, but I feel like he's one of those guys that I have to like have now. I'm moving Alec Pierce up. I don't care. Yeah, Keenan's price is adjusting way slower than I expected it to. So, like, I'm just going to, like, after Alec Pierce, I'm not clicking another receiver until, like, 2 rounds from now. So, Quentin Johnston going before Keenan Allen is quite a head scratcher, I feel like, in this lobby. I feel like Keenan just made Quentin Johnston almost a 0. And maybe that's a little bit bold claim, but it just feels that way to me. I don't know. I could be wrong. I wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong. Let's put it that way. But it just feels that way to me. I mean, if nobody's going to take Jalen Wright in these lobbies, I'm just going to continue to draft him. I mean, everybody just seems to assume that Devon Achane's just going to be healthy all year. So Keenan Allen goes at 173. I still feel like this is way too low for Keenan, personally. If I didn't already have 20+% of Keenan, I probably would have clicked him. But I already have 20+% of him, and I really don't feel like clicking him here. Serves my team and what it needs. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I want to make sure that we have that queued up. I want to make sure we have a few things queued up here. Okay. But yeah, I definitely agree with you, Hartman, on the Keenan price. Like it's really slowly adjusting. I kind of would have thought it would have been a lot more adjusted by now. All things considered. So it's interesting. Because like I said, Hartman, where do you have him right now? I'm curious because, like I said, I have him up there with Hollywood Brown. I think he should be going around Hollywood Brown. I think that's about right for me. But like I said, it seems like the market's very slowly adjusting to him. So maybe I'm just totally out in left field with my opinion, but I don't know. Miles Sanders is still sitting on the board. I know he had a knee bruise. I get it. I'm going to buy the dip just to get my Miles Sanders exposures up a little bit. I already have Jaden Blue. I don't really have a lot of Javonte. I'm really not buying a lot of Javonte unless I get him at a discount. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that running back room. It's really ugly, and I really don't want a piece of it, but I'm going to take it for what it is and keep it pushing. I do think that Justice Hill's interesting. Mononga is getting more and more interesting by the day. I think we're going to go ahead and just bite the bullet and take Slayton as our last guy here. Yeah, we're just going to do it. Take Slayton as our last round receiver. So we got Jamison Williams, DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Hollywood Brown, Alec Pierce, Darius Slayton at receiver, which is fun, I think. And then at running back, we have a lot of fun options here in Gibbs, Bucky, Bashal, Jalen Wright, and we're going to get a couple more fun options here. I'm probably just going to push up Giddens and Brooks because, honestly, I really don't want Miles Sanders on this team, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Wait, what's the Kyren news? Kyren re-signed with the Rams, 3-year extension, $23 million guaranteed, $33 million deal. So pretty big news there. Javonte has been a fade for me all summer. Yeah, I've been getting Javonte. Like, there's some drafts where I've been getting Javonte in like the 160s, which I will happily draft him there. I'm just not willing to pay up for him. So that's where I'm at with that. Is like I'm just not willing to pay up for him. I'll pay 160 ADP pretty easily for him, but I'm not willing to pay up for him anymore. I have what I want of him, and that's kind of where I'm at with him. DJ Giddens, go ahead and take the upside swing again at running back. I think that's the play here with the running back room that we have. I'm just going to be honest. If Gibbs or Bucky goes down, this team's probably cooked anyways. So that's where I'm at. I like Javonte, very cheap for a guy I think will be the starter. He's going to get close yardage touchdowns over dudes like Blue. I don't really agree with that sentiment. I think the touchdowns are all going to go to the receivers anyways. CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, George Pickens. That's what they brought him in to do, is short yardage touchdowns. I don't really think the running backs are going to be involved with that too much. Javonte's not really a red zone guy either for me. He's kind of a receiving back, pass blocking back, which is what he was good at in Denver too. So that to me screams upside to George Pickens, to CeeDee Lamb, to Jake Ferg. They even have Kevontae Turpin, who's kind of like a weird gadgety kind of running back that I feel like could vulture some stuff early. I don't know how viable that is for late. But yeah. Oh, I also wanted to mention this. Trey Tucker, by the way, is getting a lot of steam from Geno Smith, a lot of praise. Geno Smith compared Trey Tucker to Santana Moss, which is just absolutely hilarious to me, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that report or not, but I had to laugh a little bit because that to me just seems disgusting. But what do I know, I guess? I guess Jack Besh is just really bad, and Thornton is just kind of just a 6'5" speed demon, and that's all he is. I don't know. Maybe I should not wade so much into that, but I just thought it was funny and wanted to share. So, like I said, I thought it was funny. I'm not there with him at all, but Geno Smith loves the guy. So, I mean, what can I say? I can't argue it. So, the dude loves him. The dude loves him, you know? At this point, I'm taking Monangai over Marquez Hunter. Monangai's getting quite a bit of steam. I also think Monangai is just straight up better than Roschon Johnson. And I think the coaching staff likes him more. So that's the team. We build a 3-6-7-2. We got Goff, Purdy, Love, Gibbs, Bucky, Bashal Tootin, Jalen Wright, DJ Giddens, Kyle Monangai, Jamison Williams, DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Hollywood Brown, Alec Pierce, Darius Slayton, Trey McBride, and TJ Hawkinson rounding it out at the tight end position. Solid team, I would say overall. I feel like this is a team that could definitely take down a pod. I'm kind of looking through. Josh Allen goes at pick 12 in this draft, which is interesting. By the way, Hartman, I know you weren't here a little bit ago for the beginning of this. Brock Bowers drops all the way to 26 in this room. I really wanted Brock Bowers to fall to me. Because my goodness. I mean, if we look at the room, I'm trying to figure out like where it all went wrong. Obviously, Josh Allen is one, but like I pushed Bucky up a little bit. Ladd McConkey goes to 23. Amarion Hampton gets pushed to 25. And then Brock Bowers, Jamar Chase could have actually been a team and had Amarion Hampton. Like, that's insane. Like, if you can get Jamar, Brock Bowers, and like Amarion Hampton or somebody of that nature, that's a pretty freaking good start, I would say. Like, this guy here has Bijan, Ladd, and Bowers. Like, that is pretty hard to compete with. And Ken Walker to follow up his RB2 spot. It's going to be tough to compete with. Luckily for me, I got Trey McBride. Usually I don't do this because it's never really worked for me. You really hope that the receivers hit in this room because they're going to have to. Like, you're going to have some JMO DK weeks where they're keeping up with those guys as a receiver one. That's just, there's no getting around it. But yeah, I mean, that's an insane fall. I haven't seen Brock Bowers fall to 26, I don't think ever, in these rooms. So yeah, I really wanted Brock Bowers to fall to 28. I thought he was going to be honest. But yeah, interesting room. That was definitely a different room than the typical ones I've been in thus far. Let me go to the NFL. We're going to get into another flock contest. I see the MMG thing dropped. I'm not too interested in that contest, personally. A, I don't have the time to max it. B, I don't have the bankroll to max it either right now. I'm kind of playing these smaller contests for now, because I'm trying to play the more expensive contests that drop. And I'd be willing to bet that there's going to be another Husky. I'm just throwing a shot out there. I think there's going to be another Husky because people like it. I think there could be another Chow Chow, the Chow Chow 2 or whatever, and maybe one more Bulldog. Maybe. Like I said, I'm just taking a guess. One of my slows I'm up. See, we got Nico and Drake. I mean, if we don't go with one of these elite quarterbacks here as a faller, we're just dumb. So I'm just going to go ahead and take Allen and just move on with my life. One of my most drafted quarterbacks is Josh Allen. I mean, there's really no disputing how good Josh Allen actually is. I think right now my rankings, I'd have Josh at 1, Jaden at 2, Lamar at 3, Hurts at 4. I think is where I'd have him right now. But I feel like Hurts and Lamar are a lot closer than people are giving credit for. And I think Lamar is just a little bit overrated as far as where he's going right now. I don't anticipate the passing to be there this year like it was last. I expect regression there. So we'll see. Husky, Chow Chow, Dalmatian, and Bulldog also close was a big chunk. You mean to your bankroll? Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Yeah, because I definitely was not looking like super much in depth here with the amounts, and then they started dropping those contests. I'm like, well, shoot, these are really good contests that I really want to get in. So I started dropping, and the bankroll has kind of started to dry up a little bit on my end. So, I mean, I'm not sponsored by Underdog, so everything that I do comes out of my pocket. So, which Underdog, if you ever hear this, shout out. I'd love to get a sponsorship, but beggars can't be choosers sometimes. Is what it is. Is what it is. Drafters gave me a little bit, but they didn't really give me a whole lot. I still got to get people referred. Then the people that use the code, they deposit, and I don't know that they draft because I have a few people that have deposited and stuff, but they don't draft. So I don't really know what they're doing. But I'll eventually get it. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. I appreciate any help that the platforms give me. So I don't know if you saw this or not, if you're a drafters guy at all, Hartman, but they did drop a $250 entry high stakes on drafters today. I don't know if you saw that, but I thought about it and I was like, I'm not really the guy to throw 250 in. Nico's off the board. Puka's off the board. I'm going McCaffrey as much as I hate it. I don't like McCaffrey, but, at pick 9, I'm taking him. At least those contests are probably your best chance to get it in good. The better advance rates are so much better for bankroll. Exactly. So I've been playing best ball since 2023. And really last year, I didn't play much best ball. I didn't get to do it a whole lot because I was transitioning to a new job. I didn't really like what I was doing. I was kind of in a bad place as far as real life goes. Sort of, kind of. So I didn't really get to do as much as I wanted to last year. So I'm speaking more so from a 2023 perspective. Did I get to do some best ball? Yes, I did. But a lot of my stuff last year was Dynasty, Devi, related content. And that's kind of where it was. But I feel like from 2023, I broke even with Best Ball Mania. I maxed Best Ball Mania. That was my first year doing anything Best Ball related. I maxed Best Ball Mania. And I didn't hardly do any contests outside of Best Ball Mania. And honestly, I didn't like it. I wished I had done more outside of Best Ball Mania is kind of how I felt afterward. because we're going to go ahead and take Drake London there. I like the upside with Drake. Could be a top 5 receiver. Could push a lot of these guys down as far as the receivers go. I think he could push Amon-Ra. I think he could push Neighbors. I think he could push Puka. I don't know if he could push the rest, but those are the guys I think Drake London could potentially push. So I am confident in taking him at pick 16. What's up, KG? What's up, Crab? How we doing? Hope all is well. But yeah, I mean, back to what I was discussing earlier. I just did Best Ball Mania in my first year. And I did like some pre-draft stuff, like the big boards, just to kind of get warmed up, because I didn't really know what best ball was much until like 2022. I kind of was introduced to the concept, and I was like, I'm gonna sit back and watch. And then 2023 is when I really kind of went in and did my entries and started really consuming content about it. And I learned quite a bit from doing Best Ball Mania. I still feel like I don't firmly, I do understand the game, and I do understand kind of what the concept is to building good teams. But sometimes I feel like there's so much like left out when it comes to building good teams. Like, for example, people will take stacks over projection most of the time in this. And there's a case for it. I get it. There definitely is a case for it, but I have always been like, who cares if it's stacked or not? We really want the projection points because we want the projected value. And maybe that's just an advance rate play. Maybe that's why I'm like that. Maybe that's just the advance rate stuff that leads to that kind of mindset. Because I get it. If you have the stack, you're shooting for the moon, and that's how you win contests. But I think there's something to be said about drafting guys you like rather than drafting stacks, if that makes sense. I feel like it's not talked about enough, and I feel like that's like a hole in kind of the space where we're at currently. I'm going to go Kyren here. I like Kyren over these guys right now. I mean, these two receivers in particular, to me, have a lot of question marks around them. And Kyren just got his question mark pretty much solved for me. So with that extension. So I'm going to go ahead and take Kyren there. I feel like his ADP should rise a little bit. Breece Hall still has quite a bit of questions. I think Kyren also could be in for a little bit more volume if Stafford ends up missing some time here. And I think that's something that people aren't really speaking about enough. And I think Kyren's good. I mean, Kyren's a very volume-based kind of guy. He always has been. And he's talking about he wants to work harder and yada, yada, yada because he got this contract. I don't really believe that, but I don't really take too much into that, at least for the time being. But, maybe it could lead to something else. Who knows? If Kittle falls to us here, we're probably going to draft Kittle. If not, we're probably going to go Worthy. Okay, well, we get Kittle. So we're taking the elite tight end at a value. Pretty good for me. I will happily grab Kittle, and I will happily buy the 49ers offense. I think the 49ers offense is a good one to buy, especially right now. I feel like George Kittle should be a third-round pick. And the reason why I say that is because Juwan Jennings is banged up. Ricky Pearsall's not really healthy either. Ayuk, we obviously know the issues with Ayuk. So it's like, what does that leave in the receiver room? If we really want to get super deep into the weeds, I believe it's what's that dude's name? It's not Demarcus Robinson. I don't know if he's I know he's got this going on right now. I don't know if anything's been brought to light on this DUI. Watkins is hurt, if I recall. Cowing is hurt. So it's like, it's tough right now to buy these receivers. It's so tough because I just don't know who's healthy. Am I buying any of them? I've been trying to get Pearsall a little bit. And I'll kind of show this real quickly here while we're waiting on my turn. I've been trying to get Pearsall. I bought Ayuk a ton at the beginning. Hold on, let me move this. I bought Ayuk a ton at the beginning of best ball season, thinking maybe there is a chance he comes and plays week 1 because I know that there was some news about it. But like Pearsall, I really wish I had more Kittle than Pearsall, so I'm trying to get Kittle a little bit higher, but no, not really. Like I said, Ayuk at one point for me was at almost 30%. I haven't touched him in months, unless I get him at like 120. I haven't touched him in months. I literally had Ayuk buzzed up to like 30% at one point. And I think that was mostly when we were hearing news that he might be ready for week 1. I kind of regret doing that now. Baker Mayfield at pick 52. That's disgusting. I don't feel safe in this room anymore. I was feeling 28 Mike Evans. He doesn't steam up Bucky. I don't love doing that, but if he's going to buy the whole offense, he kind of has to steam somebody up. Travis Hunter goes off the board. I am wanting to buy Travis, and I have not had the chance to buy him, and it's just starting to make me mad because I need more Travis Hunter because I have literally been caught with my pants down on Travis Hunter. I'm just going to be honest. Like, we're going to go ahead and take Waddle. I think Waddle's getting him at a discount here is fine with me. I really want more Travis than what I have. And I have 4% of Travis, and it makes me very uptight that I only have 4%. Hearing everything that I'm hearing, I really don't like the fact that I have 4% Travis. So I'm a little bit concerned that I only have 4%. I might be one of the lowest Travis owners out there, honestly. And it sucks because it wasn't intentional. I honestly thought we were going to get some negative news as far as his snap count goes for receivers. I thought he was going to be a better corner than he would be a receiver. And the cookie didn't crumble that way. So I don't know if I just have to lay in my bed and just make it at this point, or if I really need to push him up to the 40s and get him in the 40s and make sure that I'm getting at least some shares. I'm not really sure what I want to do to play that out yet. So Zay goes off the board. We're going to move back to the middle here. I'm not really sure what I want to do with Travis yet, but I'm at 5% also. Yeah. I mean, I genuinely thought we were going to see 60% at best at receiver. And instead Liam Cohen comes out and says, yeah, we're going to see 80%. And I just shit myself. I was like, you got to be shitting me. Like, I was so upset. Like, I don't think you understand the magnitude of upset I was when I saw that video. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Because, like, I already think he was going early, and now he's probably going to go even earlier. And it's just like, oh my gosh. Like, I definitely missed out on that one. That was one I missed this offseason for sure. I missed on that, and I definitely missed on Ayuk. Ayuk, I thought, would be back. And there's still a chance Ayuk could be back and be returned to form. There's still a chance of that. I'm just not nearly as confident as I was of it back in like May. So this is the worst argument. A player of his build playing that many snaps. Exactly. That's another thing too that like people aren't really talking about is he's a smaller guy. Like, he's not really like super duper big or anything. Like, Travis Hunter height. I want to see something real quick. Height, weight. I want to see if they have his official like height, weight on here. Let me look real quick. So 6'1", 185. I feel like that is very generous on the height. Weight, I feel like that might also be very generous. Personally, he looks skinny. 6'1", 185 feels very generous on both ends of the spectrum there. At least to me. But yeah, it definitely is a bad argument, especially now, considering we've seen some smaller guys be relevant. I mean, we've seen Jamar Chase bulk up. I could see that happening. Like, I'm not saying he's Jamar Chase by any means, but that's the guy he's getting compared to. And it's like, Jamar Chase is 6 foot like 200. I could see him bulking up to like 190. You know, if he really is 185. I don't know that I believe he's 185 though. Personally, I feel like that's a little bit cutting him short there, or giving him a little too much. I mean, Diggs goes off at 77. I was really hoping for Diggs. I highly doubt I get one of these Green Bay receivers, which really sucks for me. But yeah, I'm right there with you, Hartman. I'm right there with you. I have a lot more Tet though. I have like 8% of Tet. I'm kind of on average on pace with Tet. I like him a lot. If he goes golden here, we're gonna be deeply saddened. Hopefully he doesn't. We'll see. If he does, we're just gonna go downs and pivot. It's fine. He goes Higgins. Okay. Goes Higgins over golden. Haven't seen that one yet. But fine by me. I mean, if Golden wants to drop to pick 81, I will happily scoop it up. Happily scoop it up. Let's see. Chris Godwin. I feel like Chris Godwin is a really good value right now too. Like I've been taking Chris Godwin a lot recently. Pick 80 feels really good for Godwin, especially if he can come back. If he's there by week 1, I will be feeling like idiots. I will be feeling like an idiot not having at least 15% of Godwin if he's back by week 1. This feels like an Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard pick. It's not something I'm really proud of, but you know, I mean, I'd rather have Pollard, I think, but I want more Aaron Jones, so we're gonna go Aaron Jones. Ted is my highest owned at 26%. Jesus. If you knew for a fact that Hunter would play almost all of his snaps as a wide receiver, would he be higher than Ted? Yes. Yes. Just simple answer, yes. Yeah, that's my answer. Yes. You know, Tet for me is at 7%. I'm right on average with Tet. Hunter, as you can see, I'm at like, oh wait, you guys can't see. My bad. Hunter, I'm at 4%. Tet, I'm at 7%. Golden, I'm at 9%. What other rookie? Egbuka, I'm at 5%. I'm not really in on these rookies much unless his name is Jaden Higgins. And the only reason I like Jaden Higgins and Golden is because they're the cheapest guys that I can buy. You know, I think Tet's fine. I definitely like Tet. I've gotten Tet in some high, like a lot of the high stakes stuff. I really like him. This up the stuff, the lower stakes, I haven't really gotten him a lot. And I think a lot of that is because I don't know how much of a ceiling play he like. I know he's like Mike Evans 2.0, but is realistically like one of these seasons and in scope for Tet this year. It could be in realistic aspect. It could be, but if I'm shooting for the moon, do I think this season is a Tet McMillan season, or would I rather take the guy who's done it already? Is kind of where I'm at. In the lower stakes. In the lower stakes stuff, you kind of have to take those risks. You know, that's how I feel about it. I could be totally off, but that's kind of how I feel about the whole situation. I don't feel like this is a must-click Brock Purdy pick, but it's pretty close to must-click Brock Purdy. Not really loving the way this team has shaped out like the last one, but it's not bad. I mean, we got a 4-3-1. It's not horrible. It's not the worst thing in the world. I think we need some better wideouts, which, I mean, London's pretty good. Waddle's pretty good. Golden, we hope, can be pretty good. I mean, we get him at a little bit of a value here. So I do like the Golden slip that we got. Does anybody have any Niners? Pearsall. Uh-oh. We might be in trouble on getting Purdy. He might go Pearsall, which is rough for us. Or Purdy. I mean, he might go Purdy. I don't know why I said Pearsall. Yep, he went Purdy. That's unfortunate for us. That is super duper unfortunate. What else can we do? We could push up Drake May and play that route. I don't love that route though. We could take our second tight end and be done. I think that's what we're gonna do. I don't love the receivers here. If we can get Shaheed or Bateman or Luther, I'm okay with any of those three. And I feel like we could maybe push it because these guys all have 5 except for him. So I feel like maybe we can push one of them back to us. So far, so good. This is the only guy I'm really worried about smacking one, which is fine. If he does, it is what it is at the end of the day. I feel like at quarterback, we're just going to have to take 3 of them again and maybe backstack with some Steelers or something. Shaheed goes off. That's fine. I'm good with Bateman. I'm also good. Let's see. We still could go Love and backstack. I think that actually we're just going to reach on Love. That feels better to me than taking one of those receivers, honestly. Because we get Jordan Love, we pair him up with Golden, we can backstack with Dobbs. That's fine. I'm good with that. And we also get the Mark Andrews correlation with the Ravens on week 17. I'm cool with that. We could have went Burden and played the other side of this, but there's really no Caleb. Like Caleb already gone, so there's really no backstacks there that we had. And Burden is just we're getting guys in week 17 with no quarterbacks anyways. So realistically, we get Jordan Love with Matthew Golden, who I think has some upside anyways. Now we can really start building out, what we like to see. Because we can get Tua, or we could. I don't really want to get Drake London's court. I don't really want to get Penix. I think Tua is a little bit better. We're not getting Penix anyways, as Penix goes off the board at 30 picks ahead of ADP. Just to pair him up with Darnell Mooney, 15 picks ahead of ADP. What do I know at this point, right? Like, what do I know? I don't know anything. Garendo goes 50 picks ahead of ADP with this guy. Like, I don't know what's going on here with this team. I mean, I guess we're drafting. I was going to say maybe we're drafting week 17, but that doesn't even make sense. Tampa Bay. There's no Dolphins pieces here. Atlanta, there's no Rams pieces. So, like, I don't know what he's doing exactly. He kind of concerns me. I don't like having a room with a guy that really is like a red light, like not knowing what he's going to click ever. It's kind of concerning, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Sometimes beggars can't be choosers. It is what it is. Oh, let's see. Goff's not really in my realm here. I don't love this range a lot at all. Could go Denver and just take Mims. Could go Brown. I'm not really huge on this. I think we're just gonna go with a quarterback. I'm okay with going Goff, I guess. I don't know. We'll go T-Law. I think T-Law is a fun one. We can backstack with Strange. That's fine. We'll backstack with Strange and some Colts pieces and figure it out. Or we just say backstack with De'Ami Brown and keep it pushing. Because that's probably the best thing to do for us. I probably just stole that guy's pick. Probably, if I had to take a guess. Poor guy. I feel for him. Anyway, Mims off the board. I'm okay with Kyle Williams. I'm okay with Tank. Realistically, I need one more running back, and I'm probably done there. Anyways, let's put this back. even though it's already been seen. Anyways, when's my next pick? I'm just curious. 153. We're going to make sure we get a double here. I want to make sure we get it. So we're just going to make sure we get it and get Dobbs. I want to make sure we get it because I want to make sure we have Green Bay doubles. If we're going to buy Green Bay, I want to make sure we get the doubles. Let's see. I do know who our last click at receiver is going to be. So yeah, there's that. Okay. So I think we're good there. As far as that goes. We got one more draft to go after this, so I'll see who goes off the board. 1163. That's gross. I don't like that at all. James Cook is your only running back right now is pretty gross. And having Travis Kelce, Evan Ingram, and Trey McBride, I don't know why you need 3 tight ends here, but okay. We're hoping basically with this team that Harvey eventually hits the flex. Aaron Jones may hit the flex first. And then the wide receiver 3 is kind of up for grabs at this point. We already have really good tight ends. We have pretty decent enough quarterback play. I feel like we can get by with that quarterback play. Tootin might be an interesting kind of play for us. Tua, maybe we draft Tua with a third quarterback in mind here. Could be an option. I don't really know that there's any other choices. Tua will probably fall. Bashal Tootin will not. If it comes to my pick and they're both available, Bashal Tootin probably should be prioritized a little bit. Oh, yep, there goes Tootin. I kind of figured. Same thing with Jaden Blue. I think that's the same scenario. Jaden Blue falls here. We'll take him. Jaden Blue goes off the board. All right. I think we definitely need to smack something here other than quarterback because I think the quarterback's going to fall. Ford, Eckler, Algier. Algier's fun. Let's do Algier. Algier's fun. I like Algier a little bit more than the rest of these two. These other two, not really huge fans of. Najee, Rashad White, not really huge fans, but is what it is. Like I said, I think the quarterback will fall. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's not really something that I'm forcing because we definitely still need receiver. So it's not something I'm necessarily forcing here, but I think we're okay if it falls to us. Keenan Allen at pick 157. That seems a little bit more closer to what I'd expect. It's still not exactly where I'd expect. Sorry. There's like a fly or something flying around here. Okay. I'm going to take Tua here and keep it pushing. So we got a quarterback room of Love, T-Law, Tua, McCaffrey, Kyren, Harvey, Aaron Jones, Tyler Algier, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, Matthew Golden, Romeo Doubs, George Kittle, Mark Andrews. Pretty solid. Now we just need to really focus and bear down on getting the receiver position caught up with everything else. I definitely don't have a lot of faith in Dante Thornton. He's getting pushed up so high that I'm out. I'm not pushing him up that high on my board personally. Alec Pierce goes, unfortunately, to the guy who I have no clue who he's ever clicking. So he has every Tampa Bay receiver not named Chris Godwin. I don't really know what he's doing, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Let's see. A-Rich off the board. Ray, Jalen Royals. Royals was a guy that I really was hoping to get a good landing spot for, and it just didn't happen. That's what sucks about Royals is I was really hoping we would get a good spot for him, and he landed on the Chiefs. You might say it is a good spot, like long-term wise, but like it's I struggle to really find where he plays once Rice is back. I also find it very hard to draft him because I know he's the last round pick, so that's nice. I just am not sure how he really gets on the field when Rice is there, like down the stretch. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, or how he's like. I'm struggling to understand where that's going to come into play for him. So that's kind of why I struggle with it. Dante Thornton goes off the board. Does he have Geno? No, he doesn't have Geno. So the guy that took Geno didn't take him, but he has Jacoby Myers. Okay, that makes sense at least. Javonte, Nick Chubb. His running back room is so disgustingly bad. Like, I don't know how his running back room is even possibly going to even compare to mine. But you flip that around on its head and you say, well, I don't know how, my receiver room is going to keep up with his. So, yeah, we're going to go Wan'Dale Robinson. At this point, we need guys that are going to play on the field that have some upside, that are going to get consistent volume. We have a couple guys already in Dobbs and Wan'Dale. Golden is kind of there. We're hoping De'Ami Brown can be a guy there. Slayton. I'm good with Torrey Horton getting drafted for some upside. We don't really need the upside running backs. We need to draft the upside receivers. I don't really know how much I love Jack Besh. I mean, at the price he's at currently, I like him, but it's just I don't know how good he actually really truly is, all things considered. So, Jalen Lane is kind of fun. I do think that the Commanders figured out. Devon Vele, for some odd reason, feels like a better pick right now than Pat Bryant, and that sucks because I have Pat Bryant a lot, and he's one of my most owned. So that one's a little rough for me to discuss at the moment. We'll take De'Ami Brown. Could have taken Thielen. I think Thielen is a fun pick. I think Michael Wilson's a fun pick. I do think a lot of these guys are fun picks. It's just I wanted to make sure we got at least one Jag in the mix here. Because we didn't get the Colt for the flip side. We didn't get really anything as far as that goes. So, yeah. Like I say, though, guys, if you're new here, make sure y'all smack a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Would be greatly appreciated. I always appreciate it, so definitely doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, Michael Wilson, Adam Thielen falling like this is kind of crazy. I'm more than okay taking Adam Thielen as kind of a guy early on who can hold it down. Wilson goes off the board. I also think Michael Wilson's a little bit getting underrated here. Like, I think Michael Wilson's a really solid player. And if Marvin Harrison's for some odd reason not healthy, like the reports are kind of not necessarily indicating, but they've said that he's gotten a little bit of injuries this camp, so we'll see. There's a chance he misses time. I don't think it's likely, but let's say DeAndre Swift, running back one. Where did that team go? Swift, Warren, Cam, Spears. Ew. I don't know what that dude's doing. Adam Thielen goes off the board. Kind of, sort of was expected, unfortunately. So So we have two choices here. We could swing for the fences with both these picks and really hope we get something out of both of them. I think Royals is good. Like I said, I do think he's good. I don't love the situation he ended up with, which is fine. I don't have to love it. I'm out on KLS. I don't have any KLS. I'm just going to live with not having him. I don't think there's any chance he really plays a legit role on this team. If this dude doesn't draft a quarterback, I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I don't know. Joe Flacco goes off the board. Joe Flacco with Seti Tillman. Like, that's just a nasty stack right there. Let me get Torrey Horton. I think he might be better than Cooper Kupp at this point, Torrey Horton. So, Krosky Merritt's still there. Only I needed a running back. But we really need a receiver, so we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to go with our Torrey Horton pick, unless there's somebody else here that really is standing out to me, which there really isn't. So Torrey Horton it is. There's our upside play. So we have a 3-5-8-2. Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Christian McCaffrey, Kyren Williams, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, Tyler Algier, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Wan'Dale Robinson, De'Ami Brown, Jalen Royals, Torrey Horton, George Kittle, Mark Andrews, rounding it out. Pretty solid team, I would say, overall. I like the teams I've drafted so far. I definitely like the first one a little bit more than I did that one, but it is what it is. Last draft of the night, and we will call it a night. Let's see. 4 people. Waiting on 4 people. Hopefully we can get these last 4 people. Merrily we fall out of line. Not fall anywhere with you, I'm by your side. Swinging in the rain, humming melodies. We're not going anywhere until we freeze. I am just cooked. Copyright free background. We'll just get some background music. Why not? All right, we're filled. Let's get a good spot. 106. Not the worst spot in the world. Not the best, but not the worst. 106, you're at least getting one of the top 6 that I feel like there's a clear tier break from. So that's good at least. Hopefully it's Gibbs. I'm going to show this real quick. I'll show my exposures real quick here. Let's see. Because right now my Lions exposures are pretty high. Like I said, Laporta, I'm trying to get more JMO over Laporta. Gibbs, Amon-Ra. I really want to get these 2 over 15% if I can, because I just think that offense is so elite that one of them is just... I mean, there's a chance Amon-Ra is a top 5 receiver again, and there's a chance Gibbs is the best running back in the NFL. I just feel like that's a very likely outcome. That team. And if Jameson Williams has some spikes, like we talked about earlier, in the Florida, David Montgomery trying to get, I'm not going to say phased out, but for lack of better wording, phased out. Whew. Goodness gracious. Christian McCaffrey at the 102? Brother. Okay. All right. So McCaffrey goes 102. Let's see if we can flip the board on its head. Why not? Why not? Just reach for Malik Neighbors or something next. What the heck? Bijan Robinson at the 104. board is nutty. By the way, I'm just being real. Dude. Okay, let's relax, dude. What in the world? Okay. We got Gibbs. Bijan at 5 is criminal. I'm just gonna be real with you. Bijan at 5 is criminal. That should never happen. After it, man. Good God. Let me turn down the music. I don't know how loud it is playing in your ears. So it's playing pretty loud in mine. So it must be playing pretty loud. Nico Collins, Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors. That's crazy. McCaffrey at 102 is crazy. Round 1's not really the round I'm looking to push up, especially if I have a round 2, like pick 2. I'm taking the guys I want, and I'm getting out of there. I'm not pushing up McCaffrey. I mean, I get it. McCaffrey's probably the guy he wants. But, man, 102? When I just got him at 9, no. Not for me. Derrick Henry. Okay. Derrick Henry over Brian Thomas and Amon-Ra. Okay. I have officially lost all track of what this draft room even is now. And Amon-Ra goes. Okay, well, at least he redeemed himself by taking Amon-Ra. For a second there, I didn't think he was going to. Achane off the board. So you let this guy get Neighbors and BTJ. That's just unbelievable. Oh, that sucks for us really bad. That sucks really bad for us. We are getting Travis Hunter in this draft, by the way. We are 100% getting Travis Hunter. I don't know what it's going to take, but we're just going to have to reach exponentially for him. And you know what? I'm just going to live with it. Because I want him, and I need more of him, and that's what it takes to get him. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Because at pick 54, we're probably not going to get him. Just throwing a guess out there. We're probably not going to get him. I'm just taking a wild guess. We might, but I don't think so. If you don't think I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky again, think again, buddy. Because I'm going with it again. I do not care if I already have it in this contest. I want it again. I don't care. I want the opportunity to have the RB1 and the RB2 on the same team as much as I can get it. And in my personal opinion, these two guys are very likely to be there. At the very least, Bucky's top 5 and Jahmyr Gibbs is top 5 if healthy. I'm discussing that at the end of the season, and we might be putting Bucky in a whole new tier by next year. Maybe. I could be wrong. Shoot. I was not a big Bucky fan at the beginning of the year. I just think the situation's too good not to draft. So, my God, this music can put you to sleep. Like, Jesus, can we get some upbeat music? My gosh. Let me just get into this. That's fine. Marion Hampton off the board. I mean, if Tyreek Hill falls to pick 30, we're taking it. I don't think he will. If he does, beggars can't be choosers. Devontae Adams over Tyreek Hill. Mind blown. I mean, I get it. Reek's fallen. He's not going to fall past this Seaton, dude. There's no way he falls past him. He gets Bowers, fucking Bijan, and Reek. Yeah, that's a tragedy. That was a tragedy. Oh, man. Dang, that really sucks for us. Okay. Let's go. Kyren. Normally I'd go Mike there, but that's fine. I want to try to, 3 running backs is a lot to start. We're just going to have to pass on quarterback being elite or tight end being elite, which I'm okay with passing. I'm okay with passing on the quarterback part. I don't know that I could pass on the tight end part with this team. High T build. Yeah. I don't usually like to build like this, but if I can get 3 guys that are potentially top 10 scorers at the position, and 2 of the 3 are like 20 plus, and the other one's like 15 to 20 every week, that's kind of the hope with this, is you win the flex. If we get JSN, that'd be huge for this team. I didn't think so. One high stakes league, I got JSN with 3 running backs, and I was like super static about it. See, like, this is a team right here where I would consider Tet, because if I'm just gonna shoot for the moon at receiver, I'm gonna shoot for the moon. Like that's because like none of these guys I feel like can shoot for the moon other than Worthy maybe, and I'm not really. Yeah, I kind of figured Worthy would go there. Rice is another guy I could consider here, but not really looking to do that. Well, Rice is gone, so didn't get the option to do it anyway. Is what it is. I think Tet's a fun pick, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna go Tet. I said we were gonna get Travis this draft. We're still going to. Tet Travis as a start is just, oh, I don't like it. But what if Tet and Travis are the neighbors in BTJ this year? You know, what if? Just what if? Do I see it? No, because Travis is literally on the same team as BTJ. But my gosh, it's kind of hard not to get a little excited if you do it. I think you need a little bit stability though at receiver. One of these 2 would be probably a little better. Even Ridley might be better than a Travis pick. But man, it would be fun to have Travis Tet. It would be very fun to have Travis Tet on the same team. Oh, well. Never mind, guys. We're not getting Travis again. Never mind. Ah, man. I'm just never going to get Travis Hunter, am I? Oh, all you can do is laugh sometimes. All you can do is laugh. Go Sutton. I'm just never gonna get Travis Hunter ever. Like, it's just never gonna happen, man. I'm not that invested into him. I'm just not. Oh well, is what it is. At the end of the day, is what it is. If Tet hits and we see a Mike Evans 1,200 10 touchdown yard, 1,200 yards 10 touchdown kind of year from Tet, his rookie year, my gosh. I'm just curious. I want to see this real quick. We know OBJ's like 1, right? Like we obviously know that. 17 fantasy points per game, 11.8 fantasy points per game. Like, if we can get 12 points out of him, that'd be huge. Mike Will. Like, these guys are just all like so just dead. They don't even have, like, the BTJs of the world on here. Or the Pukas. Anquan Bolden. That would be nice if he was 1,300 yards. That'd be super duper nice. Jettas, Puka. Like, if he has a Puka-esque year, that'd be so sick. Yeah, there's a lot of sick guys there that it would be sick if he had that kind of year. But if we get Rome here, it's going to get really fun, really fast. Please. I'm begging. I'm on my hands and knees begging. Let me just draft full upside and let me have fun. Okay? Okay? Okay! Woo! We get the full-on fun build. Yes. We get the full-on let's just click and have fun build. Let's go. And this is why we drafted the running backs early, am I right? Because we have people like this reaching for David Montgomery. Woo! Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is the, I just want to have, this is the girls just want to have fun build, as they say. The young kids say these days. Oh, this guy went ultra mega fun. Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Amarion Hampton, and Ken Walker. Okay. Well, this guy just went ultra fun and decided to take his receiver too as Jawan Jennings. Oh boy. Good luck with that one. But not want to be you. But hey, beggars can't be choosers sometimes. Beggars cannot be choosers. Is Golden already off the board? Where did Golden go? 62? Did I just totally... Yeah, I totally missed that. Pearsall's gone. Hey, hear me out. You know, there's a few fun options here. Hear me out. They're not getting clicked. We need to get through one more pick. I'm begging, BS Daddy. I'm begging. Let me get through this pick. Please. I'm begging. Yes. Very good. Very good. He takes Judy. That's primarily who I wanted. Dang it. Oh, well. It's okay. We still manage Debo at pick 78, which I am more than happy with grabbing. Don't care if he's naked. Really don't care. Pause. More than happily taking him. Adds some stability to this receiver room, which we also desperately need after Rome and Tet. If Rome and Tet hit, fellas, this team's unbeatable, man. It's unbeatable. But this is the team where Cortland Sutton tears his ACL, and we're all just sad for the whole year. And Tet McMillan ends up being like Kelvin Benjamin, and we're all just sitting here sad. Very, very sad. I really pray that's not a reality, but I've come around on Debo a lot. Yeah, same. I think Debo has there's definitely an outlook for him that makes sense. To where he could possibly outperform this ADP, I feel. So I've been trying to get more of him. Rome at a big discount is kind of big for this team. I feel like getting Rome at that price is super critical to this team's success. Same with Debo. I feel like those guys should not be going that late. But Darnell Mooney over Josh Downs just feels like a terrible, terrible decision. But once again, these contests are interesting because they're all block viewers. So really interesting, terrible, terrible field. Mahomes and Baker go. I mean, are we going to get Josh Downs too? Because if we do, we're just screaming for joy at this point. Like, we're literally, like, about to stand up on my desk and start, like, twerking or something if we get Josh Downs. Warren off the board. He's got to go running back. Okay, or he doesn't go running back at all. He doesn't have to go running back, but Oh my gosh. Please. I'm on my knees. I'll get on my hands. Yes! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I might actually get up and start working. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you. You've let me get everybody that I want to get in this receiver room. I could not ask for a better receiver room. Genuinely. I couldn't. For what we started with at running back, I could not have asked for a better receiver room. Simply put, I got what I wanted. I definitely got the guys I like, and I could not have asked for better. It's almost like you got 2/5 with Sutton and yeah, exactly. It's almost like I got 2/5 and then I got a 6th. Well, not a 6th, but I'm gonna say a 7th at least. It's like Josh Downs should be going in like this range. He should be going ahead of Shakir. Maybe not Godwin, but Mooney and Higgins for sure. My gosh. This draft is amazing. I love this team already. Now I feel good to take an elite quarterback or tight end here. I feel really good about doing it. I think we can get away with Andrews. Not really a quarterback here I want to take, so we're not going to. Dak goes off. Bo Nix is already gone. That sucks. I was really hoping there's a mosquito in here. Jesus. I was hoping that we would get Bo Nix to pair up with Portland, but that's okay. I think if we're going to buy it and do it correctly here, we really... None of these guys, I love their quarterbacks. I'm not really thrilled to draft Kelsey. Andrews, I have over Kelsey, so we're just going to do it. Andrews over Kelsey for me. If we're going to do this, we need to do it right, and I think we need to lean into Caleb Williams taking the step forward. As bad as the news is, I almost feel like we got to pair up Caleb with Rome if we're really betting on Rome being that guy. But getting Rome at this kind of a discount doesn't really make it to where I have to do that either. And it's a smaller contest, so we could get a little weird and not stack if we really get a value that we like Fields. I don't love Fields, but the rushing upside is 110% there. Man, I don't love Caleb either, but it's just like, oh man, Drake May's not bad by any means. I want to see something real quick, and the only reason I'm going to this website is because I know it can show it to me quick. Let's see. Okay. Can we go last 8 weeks? I mean, Caleb was a top 10 quarterback. I mean, I can't really deny that. So maybe we just take Caleb and Drake May. It's an option. We already got our tight end, so it's definitely an option that I can consider if it falls to us. Does anybody have a... Okay, I'm in the clear for Caleb easily here. Well, I better not say easily, but Caleb is definitely in the scope of outcomes here. So Caleb feels good with this team. Any worries with Ladd? Yeah, definitely some. I'm not taking him where he's going right now, personally. So I think he's a mid-third rounder at this point. I think he's about the equivalent to Garrett Wilson. I I think he might even be equivalent to JSN at this point. I think Keenan Allen needs to be shooting up boards a lot. I think Keenan Allen is a guy who's going to get 100 targets, maybe a little more. And I think a lot of people are just forgetting that not even 1 year removed, in 13 games, this guy had a 1,250-yard season, 7 touchdowns, and 150 targets in this offense, in this exact offense. Obviously, some things have changed in a year, but, you know, I don't think that can go unnoted. That happened. Not just, like, he's 1 year removed from that. So I think people are kind of forgetting that. Who has Diggs? That's my question, is who has Diggs? Okay, so Diggs is not in this range here. He might go Herbert. Maybe. Or Love. Love would work. Okay, he goes Herbert. Okay. No. I sort of called that. Drake May and Caleb here would be really fun, I think. Getting both at a pretty decent value. And then you could take a third in Bryce Young and just really hammer in these young guys and see if we have like the upside to do something with them. I think that's the play. I don't really see another play that I like. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go Drake May, Caleb Williams, and then we'll take Bryce maybe a little later and keep it pushing. I think that's a really solid start. I think we're going to have to lean on Mark Andrews being the guy a little bit more, which I'm okay with, considering the likely injury. And I just have a firm belief that Mark Andrews is not losing his spot. So yeah, that's fine. Let's see. I mean, RB wise, you could just double tap 2 of them at the end and just call it a day. Realistically. Kyle Pitts. I like this because we have 2 good quarterbacks. We have 3 elite running backs. We have a good receiver room, and we have a good tight end. I feel pretty good about this team. I feel pretty good about every team I've drafted tonight, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So I think we're going to take a running back here, though. I do want to go with somebody who kind of is a swing for the fence. And Tootin. I know we got 3 guys week 8, but I don't really care. So honestly, I don't care. The running back room here is so upside driven with these 3 that it just doesn't matter to me. The points that they're going to score, they're all 3 going to be top 10 running backs is what we are projecting here. So Josh Palmer off the board. I will say if Kyle Williams falls to us here at pick 150, it's going to be kind of hard for me not to click him. Okay, Kyle Williams goes off the board. Let's see. I don't necessarily think we have to get a target of Drake's. I think the quarterback here is a lot more important because we're already running out of those. So all right, so we get Bryce and pair him up with Tet. You have Caleb with Rome, and then we have kind of Drake May chilling on an island right now where we don't have to necessarily pair him up with anybody. This is gross. I mean, your receiver room's great, your tight end room's all right, but like your running back room, dude, like Caleb Johnson, Dylan Sampson, and Najee Harris. I don't know what you're going to be able to do with that, to be honest with you. You have Nico, Drake, Worthy, Zay. I feel like my team could be close to that or get somewhat close to that. Demario Douglas goes. Cedric Tillman goes. Keenan goes at pick 136. I think that's more realistic of where I would expect him to go, which in this draft lobby, Keenan going there. That is around... Okay, so Josh Palmer, Kyle Williams, Hollywood Brown. Yeah, that's about where I'd expect Keenan to go. That's where I'm going to have him ranked personally. I think that makes sense to me on kind of where that fell, where the cookie crumbled, as some might say. Let's see. If we go one more tight end, then we have that done. And then we just smack the ever-loving crap out of receivers and just pray that we can have some hit. Which Adam Thielen goes off the board. I would have been looking at Thielen a little bit here. I really don't want to double up with the Colts. I don't think that's very wise to do. We're just going to go tight end here with Henry. So then we have the Patriots a little bit here. So we have Drake and Hunter Henry a little bit here. So we're not looking at anything else except running a receiver the rest of the way, except the last pick. So we got 3 receivers we can smack. And then we probably need to get one more running back. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I think Ford is a really good pick. We need to look at receivers, though. Slayton, I like. Wilson, Wandale. We already got Downs. I'm probably not going to go Alec Pierce because I already have Downs, and I just don't believe the Colts throwing offense is going to be that elite. Who else? Who else can I look at? Coker. I think Coker's honestly better than Leggett, personally. That's just a player take, though. Horton has some upside. Trey Tucker has some upside. I'm just going to buy, the fake upside. Booty, I don't think anybody's really drafting Booty, but, thing about Booty is, there's a lot of crowd there. So I think what we're going to do is I want to make sure we get Michael Wilson, because I think there's a good shot that Michael Wilson can actually hold his own a little bit and be something in that offense. Because personally, Marvin Harrison, I know he's had some health issues this camp, so we'll see what happens. I think Michael Wilson is a decent. I don't like to say floor pick because he's not really a floor pick, but Ray Ray's always an option with Mooney being where he's at right now, and he provided before. Who else? Josh Reynolds. I don't love that. We could go Deontay Johnson because for some odd reason he's shining. Maybe the Browns are just gunslinging it around all the time. Naylor is another guy for those first few weeks. Maybe that we could go with. That makes some sense. Let's see. You could grab Ray Ray. Yeah, I was thinking Ray Ray. Pittsburgh wide receiver. Maybe. Yeah, we could go like Calvin. I'm more in on Calvin Austin than I am on Roman Wilson. I just think Calvin has a lot more to offer. But they also deem day to day. I don't really know. I don't know what Calvin Austin's dealing with either. I definitely would love to get Slayton in this room. I draft Slayton a lot. Slayton's one of my most owned, I would say, in this range. If we can get a guy like Slayton, that'd be nice. I also think we need to really view running backs here too to see if we need to take one of these. Do we take Miles Sanders here or Rico? Rico fits what we do here. I think we're going to go Rico and be done at running back. I think it makes sense because we're already buying this Carolina team to be way better than what they are currently. So I think Rico buying that dip here is nice. In saying that Chuba Hubbard maybe shares it a little bit with Rico. We don't need Rico Dowdle to be hardly anything. Maybe, he's just a fun handcuff, honestly, is all he is. He doesn't have to be much more than that, which is fine. It's us making a bet on an offense that we think will be good with or without Chuba Hubbard at this point because we think Bryce Young takes a step forward with Tet. So I think that bet is a good bet. I don't really think there's much to say on the Rico Dowdle pick. I think we already have like 3 extremely good running backs. We have a home run hitter here in Bashal Tootin who could maybe fill some weeks. And then Rico Dowdle's kind of a guy if we need to fill in with an offense that we're buying already, we have. So Darius Slayton goes off the board. Should have. Kind of making me regret the Dowdle pick, but dang it. Man. That sucks. Okay. So we're going to have to think about this a little bit more strategically. I think Ray Ray's a good pick to help with the early weeks for Tet. And Rome, maybe they're getting settled in. I think that's a decent thing to say. I think Naylor is a guy that we could do. Trevor Etienne, very little. I don't have very much Trevor. I think I'd rather have Rico over Trevor. Just my personal opinion. I was in pre-draft a lot more than I am now. We're going to go Ray Ray here. I feel like Elick is just such a gimmick pick, man. A guy like Lockett might be somewhere that we look. I don't know. I mean, this is just tough. Atwell could be decent. Although I'm not really willing to buy the Rams at the moment with Stafford where he is. I already have enough Rams also. MVS is lurking in my mind too. Renfro, I'm not real worried about Renfro. Is there anybody else that makes some sense that I'm just blanking? Brandon Cooks, not really excited about Cooks. Could go Mac Hollins, not really excited about that either. I think we have everybody queued up that we even want to consider. Yosivash. Yeah, I think that's everybody we even need to consider. We could go booty and get a New England piece that I wouldn't usually draft. Is Bourne off the board? Kendrick Bourne's not off the board. I don't like Kayshawn Booty though. Horton is kind of the upside play that you literally could get a 0 from. And at best, he's the wide receiver 3 on a team that stinks. We're going to go Yo. Okay, it autoed Taj Brooks. That just kind of killed the whole vibe. Even though I had everybody queued up, I don't know how that even happens, but if anybody knows how to explain that one to me, you know. I mean, look at the queue that I had. I don't know how that even happens. I didn't even have a running back in the queue. What the heck? I mean, it's not like Taj Brooks is a bad auto, but like, why did it auto Taj Brooks when I never had a running back in the queue? Oh, well, that really, really sucks for us. I still think the team lives on, but it's not really what we wanted. I don't know why it autoed a running back, though. I mean, I guess he's at the top of this board, but, like, my queue should have taken into effect, should it not have? Because I had Yoshivash at the top and then Horton at the second position. That just doesn't make any sense as to why it did that. Because we kind of needed a Yoshivash pick here to help support this a little bit. Because I feel like we're a little thin on where we'd like to be at receiver. And I feel like we overdid it at running back. So that really sucks. We end with a 3.672. We really needed a 3.582, but it is what it is, I guess. Who knows? Maybe Taj Brooks ends up being the auto click that we needed when, you know, Kyren Williams gets hurt or something. I don't know. That kind of sucks. Kyren Williams gets hurt, Chase Brown gets hurt, and Taj Brooks ends up panning out. You know, I don't know. You would have really liked to have seen Yoshivash on this team or Torrey Horton, you know, somebody of that nature that actually has some decent upside here. Yeah. But anyway, that's the teams for this contest. Let me look and see how full it is already currently. It's already almost halfway full. Let's see. So we got... I might have to refresh here. Told myself I was going to get Travis Hunter in all three of those, and I didn't get him in single one. So, unfortunate for us. So, that team was Caleb Williams, Drake May, Bryce Young, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving, Kyren Williams, Bashal Tootin, Rico Dowdle, Taj Brooks. Big sigh. Ted McMillan, Cortland Sutton, Roma Dunze, Deebo Samuel, Josh Downs, Michael Wilson, Ray McLeod, Mark Andrews, and Hunter Henry rounded it out on that team. What's up, Braxton? Hope all is well with you tonight. Hope you're having a good night. Then we got Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Tua Tag, Christian McCaffrey, Kyren Williams, RJ Harvey, Aaron Jones, Tyler Algier, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, Wan'Dale Robinson, Diami Brown, Jalen Royals, and Torrey Horton rounded it out. Even this room has 8 receivers, and I have Drake London sitting up top. So that's a little bit concerning for me on this team here. But George Kittle, Mark Andrews. This team's probably my favorite team that I drafted tonight. And that's shocking for me to say because I got Christian McCaffrey. So that's really shocking for me to say. I got a lot of values, so that's also helpful. I did reach on Dobbs, but we got a little golden value. We got a Waddle value. Kittle value, Andrews a little bit of a value, so pretty good value there. And then last but not least, we got a lot of value in this one as well. Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bucky Irving, Bashal Tootin, Jalen Wright, DJ Giddens, Kyle Monangai, Jamison Williams, DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Hollywood Brown, Alec Pierce, Darius Slayton, Trey McBride, and TJ Hawkinson. Rounding it out there for the 3 teams we got through tonight. Let's see. I got Lamar, Montgomery, Pacheco, Tyreek, Jamar, McBride, Waddle, Jake Elliott, the Chiefs D in a 10-man league. Your running back position's very weak. Very, very, very weak in a 10-man league. I personally would probably try to get rid of Tyreek for a running back. I'm not a big Tyreek fan this year, especially considering you have Jamar and Waddle, or you get rid of one of those two. I just would not want both of them personally on my redraft team. But that's my best advice to you, my friend. Good luck. If you guys are new, make sure y'all slap the like button and subscribe to the channel. Would be greatly appreciated. Helps my channel grow, and it also helps get my stuff out there. So I guess that's a part of growth, huh? It's getting late, so I'm kind of running out of stuff to say here. So that is gonna do it for me. I appreciate you guys coming in, hanging out, and until next time, I will see you guys later in the next one, and hopefully we get some flock contests tomorrow, maybe, or Thursday, either one, and then we can kind of come back and do this some more. So I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.